I was like, hold the, what? What was that? And he started explaining to me.
I know what it is.
I know you know what it is. And it was the most incredible conversation. Hi, I'm Sans.
And I'm Shira.
This is Gift of the Gab,
where we take contemporary issues and look at them through a giving lens.
So today we're going to discuss gifts from around the world and giving around the world. So I'll jump in. First one is quite interesting. I love it because I looked up Japan because I've got a history of doing judo.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you?
Yeah, and I just thought that would be quite cool. So in Japan, it's very polite to receive your gift with both hands, which is quite interesting.
You take it with two hands.
Take it with two hands. They've got a strong culture of actually not opening presents in front of the person that gave the present.
So no shower party sitting around opening the present?
Yeah, none of that. And I think it's probably a good thing I've seen a breakup of a girlfriend and boyfriend because she opened the present and he said, do you like it? And she went, not really. And that was the end of the game.
What do you do when someone gives you a present? Do you open it in front of them though? Generally, if
sometimes I think
a birthday
I
present.
think sometimes I haven't really received many presents recently, but sometimes I think people want to see that they know what you like. They've bought you that specific whiskey, or they've bought you that top that you've mentioned, and then or they bought you like a picture with a frame and everything, and they want to see you in it. Like they want to see your reaction. So,
but then it's more sensitive, I guess, not to do it because you're scared that you might offend them by your reaction.
If people, you've got to manage expectations sometimes. But I think sometimes when they're there, you go, oh, that's so nice, thank you so much. And but I guess in Japan they're just wary of that and quite more reserved and sensitive. So they don't open it in front of the givee.
Having a husband and his family are from India originally, that culture I think is very interesting when it comes to giving gifts. Did you know certain things that I've seen over the years?
I cannot wait for this.
You can't gift anything that's sharp, like a knife or anything that's got a sharp edge or could be used as a dangerous thing because it's seen as offensive.
Really?
Shoes as well have got a thing. I think my husband once gave his father a pair of shoes that he'd made in school. I think Yom Kippur slippers or something. And the father got very upset. Because
so I know in the Arab culture is when one of the biggest insults is to throw shoes at people.
Throwing a shoe at someone? So you think maybe that's what I don't
could be the worst thing to do. One politician who was talking, everyone started picking up, and literally you're going to go home without your shoe. But they're throwing shoes. I watch it. They're throwing their shoes at him.
Amazing.
So it's a pretty big insult that apparently, and so maybe I don't know. There's some sort of link.
My mother-in-law as well. When she would give us a financial gift, it would never be a round number. It's like your blessing should never be divided. But it's never a round number. It's always hopefully £1,001. No.
Okay, so never even numbers.
Don't give a rounded number because it shouldn't be closed off like that.
But you're half Indian.
Oh, so I'm married to an Indian, but my family are Iranian, originally Persian.
You're from the old Persia?
Yes. Okay,
so I can tell you I had one of the craziest experiences, and I know we had a Persian guy at my house.
Yeah.
And, my wife makes very good food. And he was quite hungry, like he had eaten. And then she said, would you like some more? He said, no. So I said, no, come on, you can have some more. So he goes, no, I don't want. I'm good, thanks. I was like, bro, you just have some more. And he's like, okay. I was like, hold the, what? What was that? And he started explaining to me.
I know what it is.
I know you know what it is. And it was the most incredible conversation. So I'll let you say, what was that?
It's called Taarof-ing.
Taarof-ing, yeah. That is
Which is an Iranian thing where, I don't know where it comes from originally, but you're meant to say no when someone offers you something and then the person will insist. And then you say no again.
Times,
yeah.
Said. And it can go on and on apparently, but it's literally, it was so strange, and we weren't doing it with any intent. I was just like, "Come on, bro, don't be, don't be British, don't be whatever. Just be. If you want more, have more." And then just popped out.
Have you seen that YouTube video?
It is the best. Actually hysterical. And
you can describe it because I always forget. But
so I think there's a 4-way stop, and
a
they
roundabout.
get to the four-way roundabout, and they get to it's freezing cold. I think it's in Canada somewhere, and there's 4 men, and they're in their cars. They stop, and the one guy goes, "After you." He looks at him, "After you, after." And eventually they're sleeping, and it's like, it's 7 hours later. The guy's got he's made pot noodles in his car, and the other one's like smoked like his whole packet of they're hooting at each other, they screaming, but they won't go first. It's the whole thing of Taarof-ing and like not asking, not letting, going. I don't know. It's just absolutely hysterical. So
because it's interesting, because I think in that culture, if you're going to give something to someone, it's quite likely they'll be like, "Oh no, I don't want it. They'll kind of refuse something you're offering them, because sometimes you might take it personally, but it's just part of the culture to not take it personally.
Is it let me ask, just, is that Jewish or is it Persian culture? Jewish Persians or Persian culture?
And I think as the generations have assimilated a bit more and not gone away from the Iranian customs, it's become a lot less prevalent, but it's the older generation that are very strong with it. It's just a natural cultural thing. It's not even a thought.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting.
Like you sit around a big table and then there's like one biscuit left and everyone's like, no, you take it. And then the one white guy will be like, yeah, I'll take it.
So I don't know. I found it amazing. So look, it's kind of a little bit different because I know this is in Zimbabwe, which is neighboring my birth country.
Are you South African?
I'm South African. How could you tell? And in South Africa, I think this is also the same. Is that people they will be very upset if you refuse an offer, even if they're very, very poor. If they offer you to come into their house, they offer you that last biscuit, they want you to take it, and they don't want you to Taarof. There is no Taarof-ing in Zimbabwe. It's a very important thing to do, is to actually just take it.
So Persians, if you're listening, don't go to Zimbabwe. It's cause a lot of drama.
Persians, travel wisely. That would be quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
That is something, and it's quite interesting how that pans out. It's quite. Sometimes you feel someone that doesn't have a lot of money. You don't want to take things they're offering, but they're offering with a good heart, and if they're offering, they want you to take it.
Wow.
And it's quite powerful. That it's quite deep if you think of where that's coming. They are, once they've made the call to give you that, take it, kind of thing. So obviously, take it, thank you, and be appreciative, but they want you to take it.
Right. This reminds me of a story actually that happened to me when I was in Moscow. We were on a trip visiting an orphanage in Moscow. And there were some girls I got very, very close with. And at the end, I literally could not bring myself to go back with anything in my suitcase because I felt so bad. Sure. So we all of us just emptied our suitcases and gave it to the girls in the place.
Wow.
And one girl wanted to give me something. And so the only possession that she had was her toothbrush that had been used for like years.
Oh my God,
and she gave it to me with a card like in Russian, and she written a whole message to me. And she left it for me to take with me home, which was very sweet, but I felt so bad that I was about to return it to her.
Did you take it?
I didn't want to take it, and I spoke to the person in charge of the orphanage.
Take her last toothbrush?
I know. And I said to the person in charge of the orphanage, I'm not taking this. Can I give it back to you? And he said, please, this is the one possession that she has that she can give away. Please let her give it to you.
Thank God I got tissues close.
Yeah, and it was the weirdest thing because I'm like, I've taken away this girl's toothbrush, but that's what she wanted to give, and it was the one thing she could give, and I made sure that they were able to buy her a new toothbrush.
So if you're not already, we'd love you to subscribe on whichever platform you're listening to. Thanks. There's a story of you just reminded me, there's a story of a guy, I might not say his name, but he was actually imprisoned in Gaza for a number of days, over 3 weeks.
Oh.
And he's a BBC journalist, and he tells the story. It's quite incredible. And at some point, he was in this prison, solitary confinement, and all of a sudden the door opens and they throw this man in. I don't know what he was in there for, but he was badly beaten up. He felt that it was quite a threat like a bit of a warning. This is what could happen to you. So it was quite bad. And he was like lying on the floor next to this man. This man was like really not doing well. But he had a jacket on. And eventually they were lying for hours, and all of a sudden the man took out an apple. And
an apple?
He had this apple deep in his, in his pocket, in his jacket pocket. And the guy said, do you want it? I can't take your apple. He said to me, I really want you to have this apple. And it was just such a strange experience. Like, this is the last thing this guy's got in his life.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't in a good shape, but he wanted to give away his apple to this man. And that, and he really felt bad, but like, what do you do in that situation? So he kind of took it. But,
evil.
Maybe that thing, I don't know if they shared it, I can't remember what he said, but it's just quite power. Like, this man gave his last possession away.
But if it would have been an Iranian receiving it, he would have been like, no, I didn't want it.
No, I don't want it. And it would have gone, she's pear-shaped. That's it's a pretty, and it's also interesting because we have Shabbat tables, Friday night tables where, people get invited, guests, you get lots of, people bring, and there is like here, there kind of is a feeling of, I've got to bring a present. And then what's the level of the present and how good is the present? And it's very hard. And it's like you go to people and then people come to you and God bless them, they bring you unbelievable stuff. And you feel when you're going back there, you kind of have to reciprocate. Do you? Don't you? Is that the right level? Like, everyone's got their own budgets. Everyone's in their own, financial constraints.
I've noticed a difference as well because we stayed in Finchley last year when we were moving house, and we've been in different areas, and I've noticed there's a difference in the level of gifts in different areas in London, the Jewish areas. I just find it quite interesting to understand that the dynamic. Some places have got more pressure to give nicer things, some have less pressure.
I think there are circles that just give very nice things, and it's a done thing, and some like Bendix is cool, Bendix and or a nice bottle of wine, decent bottle of wine. I don't know, it can never end, I guess. Where does it end? So it's just quite interesting to think about that. And
do you think it's even necessary? I always say to people, please, next time you come to me, don't bring me anything. I really beg of you.
Also, like, I don't know. I'm torn because I don't know. I do think there's something that was set up for people to not give gifts and to actually give charity, which I think was a brilliant.
Oh, what? Give It app? Is that?
The Give It app.
Amazing.
Absolute genius by Mrs. Apkin, and really just a great way.
When people give me that, I love it because what happens is that you get a message saying that someone's donated. Thank you for having me for Shabbat, and you get a message from them saying they've donated to this charity in honor of you hosting them as a thank you.
And I think it's a great thing also, get stuff from, the Chevra Kadisha in South Africa, and this one's donated in your honor. Those kind of things, that's very powerful, and it's nice to know they're giving charity, thinking of you, and they appreciate you doing something for them, but they've given charity. That's a whole different way of doing it, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't give gifts? No, definitely not. I think.
And I guess the giver should always be giving gifts.
And people like receiving, sometimes, if they've got lots of young kids and ask, can I bring some sweets or go get a sweet pack or something.
Cute.
Stuff like that. Try to be a bit at least thoughtful of what they like. But I'm not 100%. Is there a right or wrong answer in this? Not so sure. So that's where we're going to leave it for today.
It's interesting seeing the different cultures, and I mean, there's this haven't scratched the surface of the different countries and how they all give and all those things, but to also understand that in certain contexts you have to be kind in a different way,
right? And respect people's culture. So when you're in Zimbabwe, take the gift. When you're in Persia, just keep saying no,
and don't be offended if the Japanese person doesn't open the present in front of you.
There you go. So until the next time you give a gift, keep doing good things.
Give's mission is to inspire and enable lifelong giving. Subscribe to Gift of the Gab podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And feel free to drop us a note at podcast@jgift.org if you have any comments or any suggestions of what we should be talking about in future. And of course, check us out on social media @Give Charity for ways to get involved.